Good morning, Spain. Today I'm going to look at the mirror that lies, or to be less poetic, comparing ourselves to others.
Impossibility. No, it's like human nature, isn't it? To compare ourselves.
Yes.
Because, I mean, one thing's keeping control of it,
Yeah.
but not doing it, I kind of think that's a tough call.
Yeah, you made a good point there. So it's a healthy thing to do. You're getting a feedback from the environment.
I'm so pleased that you said that.
Right.
Because it's always, comparison is the thief of joy. Go on, I'm listening.
Yeah, so it depends how you do it, exactly as you say. So if you are looking at where other people are at, what they're doing, how they're behaving, or maybe societal expectations, and then you are kind of, you are reviewing yourself within that in a healthy way, which would be to not devalue yourself. You can use that as that's where I want to be. I'm not there yet, or they're quite inspiring. I would like to be that way, have that kind of lifestyle, and you can start to move towards it. Where the comparison starts to go wrong is when you kind of go, look at where they're at. I'm not there because I'm not good enough. I'm a failure. I've messed my life up somehow, and you get into this kind of negative spiral. So all your focus is on what you're not, rather than, oh wow, I would like that, or I'd like to be that way, and what are the steps I need to take to move towards that? So
The word inspiring is when you got that someone can inspire you to be better, as opposed to make yourself feel worse, or have the resentment that they have it and you don't, because that's another tendency, isn't it?
People get resentful or they project. So it's that if you instantly dislike someone, which we've talked about before, because of something they're doing, it says more about you than it does them. Maybe they're being a way that you don't allow, or you haven't got there yet, so you resent them for it. But actually you're resenting yourself.
So I've got a slightly different version of it, I think, and it's probably quite egotistical, but I'm not resentful that somebody's got something better or better lifestyle, and I'm not. I want to be there, but I am not because I'm in the pit or I'm horrible. I don't deserve it, but I'm frustrated that I haven't achieved more. But not through myself or anybody else's fault. I'm just frustrated that I am not there yet.
Right.
So, like, what can I? Because I'm like,
you're not living the moment. You want to get there. What's wrong with where you are here?
Where does your focus go? Because a lot of people focus on being frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated, and then it becomes I'm frustrated because that I'm frustrated.
Right.
And so it's like you're just going round and round on the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, take the frustration and I would say, like, learn from it. What am I not doing that's preventing me from getting there? What are my blocks? Is it something to do with, I don't know, do I need to go to therapy? Have I got some kind of like cognitive bias going on, or whatever? Or is it, how am I blocking myself? Do I not allow myself to go that far? Do I think I don't deserve it? Is that what's really going on at my core? So you can ask yourself those questions and then focus on the steps moving to get there, rather than, oh, it's so frustrating that I'm not that, and I'm frustrated that I'm frustrated, and you just spend all your energy on the spot. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I do understand that. Yeah.
And sometimes, if you need to break out of it, what a lot of people do is they forget, because we're geared to look at the negative. So because the negative is the potential threat. So if there's 6 people in this room give you a compliment and I don't, you'll focus on that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. People say lots of nice things. One person says one bad thing, and that's all we can think about.
You've got to do a night in prison. It's ridiculous.
But with comparison, we're doing it to ourselves. We're forgetting. And what we do is we look at people on a surface level. They have a lovely relationship. They've got a nice career. What a nice life they have. But you see a snippet. And what I encourage people to do when they go on about this is like, have they lived the same life you have? Have they had the same adversities? Did they have the same upbringing? Have they had the same challenges? Did you have an accident? Did you have an illness? What's gone on for you that has, did you start further back than they have? And actually, do you really know that they have a happy relationship, or they're really pleased with their career? You don't know, because
you know what you see on that. And in today's world, it's even worse than it used to be.
Yes.
Because everything looks like everybody is just living their best lives.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll probably know more than I, but I was watching something on Instagram, oddly enough. So it was a guy doing, he'd got a modelling, like an OnlyFans page, but it's him with blue lights on him.
Why are you saying I'd know more about
Because you're
OnlyFans
well
than you?
because you're into your AI and stuff. So he's doing the movements, and then there's a very sexy lady overlaid over the top. It's not real.
Oh, yeah.
So, and again, you know, she's got a beautiful fit, and you're like, this is a man using AI to generate a character who looks real, and then there's comparison. You know, there's all these people, oh, wow, you look so amazing, and it's like,
Yeah.
those are real.
Yeah, it's not even a
when
real
I
person.
see when I see
crazy.
some of the social media things, the people you know,
Yeah.
and then you see their social media posts, and it's like your waist isn't that size, and your face doesn't look like that.
That
And
I'm
it
not
just-
a fan of at all.
But in the sense of, but when you think of the youngsters or the people who are seeing these images, they're avatars, they're pictures.
That's the word I was looking for.
And it's nothing to do with reality. So you're aspiring to something that's impossible unless you have plastic surgery.
But it's not even. But even still, it's not like when usually women put up these filtered photos, you're like, I know you don't look like that. What do you think the world is not going to see you when you go out in public?
I suppose they're counting on the ethereal fans and not on the ones who are seeing them. But I say people that you know and you know that are out there, and you see their social media, and it's just like, I don't even understand why we're not allowed to look like we do. That's become a comparison. If I don't look like a cartoon character without any pores or flaws, then I'm not acceptable. It's gone to the distant, like the level of comparison.
Yeah.
That is, I want to look like something fake.
Maybe I'm not sure this will answer your question, but if I take a bit of Rogerian theory, so there's a guy called Carl Rogers came up with person-centered therapy, which I think a lot of people have heard of, and it was all about empathy and stuff. And he said it didn't need any theory, so he wrote a book of theory about it. But it's really handy to know, so it's a whole other conversation. But he said if you have a sphere of self-concept, this is your perception of you, then you have a sphere of reality. And you have another sphere over here, which is your ideal self. Everything that influences your self-concept, let's say you had critical parents, critical teachers, your self-concept might be quite negative, but it might not be true to the reality sphere. It might be incongruent. Or you may have been boosted and it's not quite real, so reality is still over here. The idea is to get the two to merge, or at least overlap somewhat. The ideal self is something we're striving for, a bit like with the social media and stuff. And what comparison does is it keeps that sphere far away, because you're never going to reach it, because you're always comparing. Instead of moving towards it, you're comparing and putting yourself down. So the distance, the incongruence gets greater. But what will happen over time is the reality will creep in, because the more you think you're a failure and not good enough, the more you'll be that, and eventually the reality will be you're a failure, you're not good enough, and you've not done anything with your life. So, and it will be influenced by the comparison and your history. So what you want to do is, like I said, use the inspiration. This is something I want to achieve. This is like, let's say it is body shape or whatever. This is but you have to have a dose of reality. Is this achievable? Because perfection isn't, but can I move towards it? And what are the steps I need to do? You know, so is it a healthy lifestyle? Do I need a good relationship with money? Do I need some boundaries in relationships? Maybe change my circle of friends. You know, maybe they're actually pulling me down.
Maybe stop looking at social media.
Maybe stop looking at social media would be a really good thing. Yeah, stop looking at AI-generated women, Nando.
We're back to those red flags.
Don't date the beach. So the idea is to pull these spheres together as much as possible, that all three should overlap somewhat. Your self-concept will hopefully change over time and should move towards your ideal self, and reality will come along with it, and the three will overlap. That's what you're looking for.
And never say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say out loud to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because we can be pretty mean to ourselves.
Yes, we can.
We can be pretty mean to other people as well.
That as
though.
well. Put it past you now.
No, we can. So it's, and always, if you do start to compare and put yourself down, stop yourself in that moment. Am I perceiving, is this something I'm dressing it in?
It's the skill is to realise that you're doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And if you're getting upset with something, and there's, as you say, what am I projecting? Because I think that helps keep us grounded, as opposed to them being the problem. Like, why is this upsetting me?
Yeah.
What is it in me that upsets me?
Yeah,
Most of the time, there's no reason for whatsoever.
Yeah. And sometimes if it's success, let's say it's someone successful on the internet or whatever, they're a great speaker, a motivational person. Until you get into their journey, because we just see it as they've made it, and it looks easy, and it's like, actually, how many failures did they have? Like, I was watching something about Kevin Hart, the comedian, 19 years of kind of being booed off stage and told he's not good enough, but he just kept going.
19 years,
yeah,
that's
19
incredible.
Years, a long time.
That's a hell of a lot of resilience.
Yeah, if you want something, you go for it.
You go for it,
exactly, but don't compare to others.
Don't spend your energy on it,
Perfect.